Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my melody not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face? People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days. I'ma treat you how you treat me, do you like how it tastes? Shawty use it.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. We are moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, and none other than Cam Newton.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Ready? Let's get it. Check 55. Right. It's our time.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. When we look at this unit like we are now, Greg Olsen has become such a reliable target in this league.
Loves to be considered the #1 option in the passing game in the offense he plays, and he lives up to it. Knows the defense is set for him, knows how to beat them.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
You can't block me.
Newton to throw. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
Let's go. Slam.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short, they go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. Rodgers now to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. They find some open field here. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And a good burst there right from the start as he'll get this one out near the 35. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. So don't say nothing.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Rodgers. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, watch that, watch that. Slam, slam, slam. 36, 36.
Derrick Henry. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
And this team is coming in off of their open week, and to me, a pretty good time to have it, too, because it's pretty much right in the middle of the season. So I would think that they'll be pretty well rested and ready to go for the second half of the season. But even more importantly, they got a little bit of a mental break as well. That's going to help, too.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Watch twist. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Ain't no such thing as a...
Throwing is Rodgers. It's complete to Diggs. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Check 31. Check 31.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. Cook with a 1st down and much more. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook. Touchdown number 18 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. The tackle by Eric Armstead. This is how they will line it up defensively for Minnesota. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now it's Newton. Out to his left. And now he's getting Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal.
Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it. Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
They'll run with Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Bailey got the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
Carolina getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Open man is Samuel, complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people want to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, here's Newton. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Panther first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make this a second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. Throwing on third down, Newton. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 40.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Newton will bring him up first and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Newton, meanwhile, here connecting with McCaffrey. Touchdown, Carolina! Christian McCaffrey, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. So that drives 7 plays in length, and Carolina scores to cap it off. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And he's found the end zone twice. And now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Getting the sense Charles are going to put big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
319. Jump out. You ain't going nowhere. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. 319.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Into this game, they're ranked number 22 in the NFL against the pass, Charles.
And when you're getting ready to face the number 1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that offense. Check 9, check 9. Kill, kill, kill.
On the ground, it's Cook. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards the pickup there. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Take me up. Here we go.
Now Rodgers on the bootleg. He'll buy some time right. He's going to take off with it. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Right. 158. I want that. Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball.
A first down carry for Henry. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback. Mike 54. Mike.
Now on 2nd and 13. Rodgers. And Diggs has it. That would go for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown.
Good job.
Derrick Henry with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done. Yeah,
well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now 21-7. So that drive in total 8 plays. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. The defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Newton. Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
50-180.
McCaffrey following the penalty. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the 41, Newton. That's to McCaffrey, complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Now Newton. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 35.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Newton now already over 100 yards passing in this 1st quarter. It's 1st and 10. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. The safety, Rashad Jones, brings him down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
From the 29, Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by one of the most consistent D linemen in the game, Gerald McCoy.
But maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget.
It looks like, yes, it is 6 defensive backs on the field for Carolina.
They're going with a dime set.
Check 59, Mike. Mike. Hey, 88, 88, 88. I got him. Mike, check.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me. Kill. Turn up.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down, Cook. And this time not as successful, as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. You better break. Hey, wahoo! Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Here I come.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He's got his man. That's Wallace. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
I got you.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, Definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
On first down, Rodgers. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Target. Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike.
And again, it's Rodgers. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on first. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance. And to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Out of the gun, Newton. Open man is Higgins. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. Rodgers now on first down. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Hey, Mike 7. Check 59, Mike. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And he's able to find Wallace. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Joker. Shift. Watch the shift. Kill.
10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll go down at the 28. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
319. 54. Here we go, D. All day. Defense, all day. Check safety.
They run again on first down. Cook. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Rodgers. This is caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Kyle Rudolph with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Bailey now for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say, I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. A nice run on first down gets him 6 yards to the 31. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Newton. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end. And
even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. Third and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Again, Newton. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to be staring at a third and long here.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
3rd and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction. To the air again, Newton. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker, and it's 4th.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you. And in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And now out comes Minnesota. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now it's Rodgers, and this one hauled in by Rudolph. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
To throw again on second down, Rodgers. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
Here's Rodgers. On the screen, this is Edmonds. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Rodgers now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch it.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. It's complete to Diggs. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Check 13. Check 13.
Now Cook running right. 7 yards there and a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
On the carry, it's Cook. And this carry not as productive. He swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Mike 54. Hey, check. 54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch it. 50. Let's go, baby. Return up. Let's get that ball. 50. Kill.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rodgers going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey, one set. Check Mike 54. Back north. 54. Pick it up. Smooth. Mike 54.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hatchet. Hey, alert 3. Check 99. Jim.
Back to the ground, Cook. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. 22 yards there, a first down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
319. Check. Watch 54. Hey, jump out. Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike. You.
Rodgers now on first down. And Diggs has it. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough, otherwise they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota.
Set to kick off.
So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers about set to go on offense. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, arguably, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Set, ready, 55, Mike. It's our time. It's our time.
From the gun, here's Newton. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this will be taken at the 13. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. You don't want this. Hey, Charlie. Mike 54. Mike 54. You must be getting tired of seeing me.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Here we go. 54. Hey, exit. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike. Let's go, D.
On 3rd and 2, Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Christian McCaffrey deep for Carolina. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Elsewhere on the NFL scoreboard in Dallas. And the early lead there belonging to the Cardinals. Kyler Murray with 2 first-half touchdown passes. "35 seconds, all that remains in the first half as they come up on 1st down. A shotgun snap for Newton. And that's complete to McCaffrey. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Here's Newton. This pass complete to Higgins. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go. Now, Katie. Check pass.
On 1st down, Newton. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Curtis Samuel, the one he was looking for. But it's going to be 2nd down.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender. But you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Newton. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing again is Newton. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field at Philly, and they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. From there, we'll head to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, has a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's check in at our nation's capital, see what's happening with the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they are in a tight one, all tied with the visiting Ravens. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, he can't hold them.
Hey, orbit. Mike, check. 59. Silver.
Here's Rodgers to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Brian Burns in there to bury him for a loss of 11. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
To try again after the sack. Rodgers setting up the screen for Cook. A huge play there on the screen pass. And even 40 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it first and 10.
Check 52.
They'll run with Henry. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
Jordan McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL the same draft class. There was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it two different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
False start, offense.
Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long.
54. Mike, 54. He's tired of me. Go. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. He'll take a shot for the end zone. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Extra point try by Bailey. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's polished off by a Vikings score. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Newton. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and that's caught inside the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
51, Mike, 51. Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And that is incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Tavecchio puts this one through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Let's go. Let's do it.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. On the other side, they've had trouble stopping him not only on the ground but through the air. He's hit the century mark running the ball. He's approaching that receiving it.
I'm starting to think, Brandon, we're going to have to start judging running backs by a little bit different standard. And we know the gold standard now is 1,000 yards running the football. But I think we've got to start looking at all-purpose yards, yards from scrimmage. That's probably a better measure of what you're getting from these backs, because look at the game we're getting here. He's run it well, but overall his damage has been done catching it.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see if that will continue. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Check 59, Mike. Check 30. Mike to 59. I'm trying to collect. Buzz. Check 59, 59. Night, sweetheart.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Got his man there. It's Wallace, complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7 drills. Angry if the ball ever hit the ground, and it didn't do it very often.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
65. Hey, check 26. Hey, Haywood. Go. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. I got you, boy.
Rodgers now to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And the Panthers coming out now. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said has nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw is Newton. And he's going to go down again.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That's taken on the 25. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
He's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just got to have a grin on his face every time his number is called, because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays, nothing but big-time positive runs.
Taking the sideline grin as well. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On third down, Henry. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Let's go one more. 26. Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Watch the run, watch the run, watch the run.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. K1 short with a sack. That's 315 pounds a man right there. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Get 300. Get 300. Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54, Mike. Hey, Delta. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Hey, watch that.
Now Rodgers. He's able to find Wallace. 23 yards to pick up there.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38.
Rush in.
Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, seam 6. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. It's our field.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Rodgers. And a quick throw here that's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
And you know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
He's coming. We got double up. You go 300 up.
Now a run with Cook, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he will have the 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Back north. Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go. Hey, box drop. Check. Watch 54. Here we go, G. Right there. 54. Right there. 54.
To throw is Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Throwing now is Rodgers. They set up the screen for Henry. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
It sounds like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It's the Pro Bowler Jamie Collins that makes the stop.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Quentin Dunbar right there on the coverage.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards, good for a Panther 1st down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
They go play action here on first down. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the play.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Newton now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Back to throw, Newton. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. The dump off good for 8 there on first down. Before they can snap it, time runs out on this third quarter of play. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Check pass. Alert 3, alert 3.
Throwing again on second down. Newton, and he's got McCaffrey open, complete. 7 yards there and a first down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
To throw on 3rd down. Newton. Open man is Higgins. And he's going to be taken down short of the first, right around the 15-yard line.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And really a lot of guys you could highlight on this offense with how well they've played, but he's one of them. He's been spectacular so far.
I'd say he'd be the number one, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because it's not just the numbers. It's, as you said, I think you said focal point. Well, that's what he's been, and that means he's created other opportunities because they've had to bring the defense to him. He's run it really well. He's caught it out of the backfield. They're trying to stop him. That means there are chances for the rest of the guys to do damage themselves.
It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. The Vikings on third down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. Shotgun now for Rodgers. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Here's Rodgers. On the screen, he's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. A gain of 37. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
Hey, you block over here. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. I got it. Right there.
Throwing is Rodgers. And he fires one incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. But it'll be 2nd and goal. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some 1st downs, just as good as running the football. On 2nd down, it's Cook, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah, right? A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Let's go, defense.
A shotgun snap for Newton. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Here's Newton. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a Carolina first down on a gain of 16. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Newton to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, Just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, take 26. Hey, Echo. 54. Let him know, let him know.
Here's Rodgers to throw. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
Tighten up. Share. Deuce.
On first down, Cook. Cook stripped, the ball's out, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them pass it, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Newton now to throw. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards and a Panther first down.
Right there in the middle, 55. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
On first down, Newton. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Newton delivers this one to McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. To the air again, Newton. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he'll go down at the 28. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Newton's pass is on target to Moore. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, a 22.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league. Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Easy work. It's easy work, and it's coming again.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. The first carry for Josh Adams. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game?
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs. I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no. There was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. So that one a long 11-play drive. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. And the stats on his game, they really tell the story. A strong start. I don't know that the defense has really changed a whole lot as opposed to maybe just sticking to that game plan and shutting him down now.
I like where you're going with that because normally we talk about adjustments and drastic changes in a game plan in order to shut someone down. But in this case, maybe they're just sticking with what they worked on all week and they're just making better plays. And so far, they've got to like what they've...
It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for Minnesota. 58 yards.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
That's got to be a long... Get 300. Get 300. Mike 54. 6-man. Check curls. Check curls. Check...
Rodgers looking to throw. He's able to find Wallace. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. His big game continues. 10 catches now and another first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And his kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for Minnesota, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.